Welcome back to Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you, Niani Taylor, owner of Munch Hours Inc. She'll be with us for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. And like I said, I have a very special guest for you, Niani Taylor. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. So, Munch Hours Inc. We're going to talk about all of that and a lot more.
Yes.
But first, I'd like to know, who is Niani Taylor?
Oh, thanks for asking. I'm pretty humble, but I'm very outspoken about the community service that I do. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, from East New York area. I've been living in Brownsville about 25 years on my own now. But I guess I'm just a New York girl, all around New York City, hustler, New York City, born and raised, and I have the toughness and the tenacity of all that New York City is.
Absolutely. That's great. Before forming the business and doing all that stuff, what were you doing before? What led to this point? Because there's always a point where you're doing something else and the ideas come into your mind, and sometimes people have ideas a whole decade before it ever gets executed. And it's always something, a thought. It's always brewing in your mind.
Right.
And then you finally get the courage to just, all right, I'm going to do it. So how did that come up?
Well, it's interesting because, like you said, it's always a thought. It's always in your mind. And if you're on the machine like I was, I guess I started out my youth wanting to be in the music industry. So I did everything music business from the time I was a teenager till the time I was an adult, right? And then once I got into my 20s, I realized that the music industry just couldn't sustain me for the rest of my life. It was changing, and there's a lot of things about it that I just couldn't deal with. So, I went to college in my mid-20s. I guess I was mature enough after high school. I would recommend that to anyone, to just take some time after high school to figure some things out before you go do a major that you're not going to actually. Because if I would have went after high school, I probably had a music degree. But because I had some world experience and some work experience in the music industry, I ended up going back to school for a marketing degree and then did a journalism degree at CUNY. So I'm a CUNY girl. And then I ended up doing temp assignments in the finance industry and was pretty good as an executive assistant. So I just started to float on just working and surviving in New York City without any real focus. But it was such tumultuousness because I guess every couple of years the bottom will fall out financially. And that led us, in 2008 was pretty much the worst time for a financial crisis. And that's really what sparked you have to get off this interviewing, job resume, interviewing, new job, laid off, new job, unemployment kind of cycle. And then, so I've been a New York City housing resident my entire life, almost, and they've been very good as a management company wanting to push their residents to be more than they are. So there was a program called the Food Business Pathways that they were sponsoring back in 2015, and I signed up. I just started working for the city and just started a new job and said, you know what? This is going to be what I'm going to build. So if anything happens, it's not my fault. The company downgrades, the company lays off. That's not my fault.
Right.
Then I'm going to make sure I take I'm going to hire myself. And that was pretty much my goal. If somebody else lets me go, I'm going to hire myself. And with the help and the support of New York City Housing, they actually funded it and sponsored it for me, helped me incorporate and helped me do a business plan, gave me training, and gave me a kitchen to work out of. And that was in 2015. So from 2015, I was doing it as a hobby, kind of on the weekends, working full time on Wall Street. And then in 2019, I got laid off. It was like, well, now I know what to do because I have my own company that I've been building since 2015. And so I've been on my own ever since.
Wow. You see, that's why I wanted the story. Because I knew there was a story.
There is. Yeah,
I knew there was a story, and there's a journey, and it's always something great, in the sense, because you had to go through it.
Yeah, it wasn't a straight line. It wasn't like this is going to be it. It was like your plan B in case, and then in case
Sometimes
happens.
plan B becomes plan A.
It really does. It really does. Because plan A was to get back after I got out of college, to go back into the music industry as an executive, and I didn't have the love for it anymore.
Yep.
And I outgrew it, and we changed from what we liked, and I was very excited to be working in a new position that I wasn't necessarily trained in, but I was good at.
And that's okay. So then fast forward now, you started the kitchen. You were given this opportunity.
Yes.
And you got to craft it.
Yes.
Why brunch in particular?
Wow.
I love brunch.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm a single adult with no kids, and that's how me and my friends would get together. Like, brunch is the infinite meal, because it can start late morning and then end late evening. It's just all day brunch.
And now there's brunch parties that do it.
Right.
So it's craft, I would say, from like 2015.
Right.
They really
pumped up the chicken and waffles and the brunch. Right. They did.
They really started all day brunch.
Yeah, the bottomless.
we know.
Come on. But that's the adult time. That is adult time. I don't see too many kids at brunches.
No.
You know what I mean?
5, by 5, 6, you still going home early enough that
it's so early, but still adult. Like, that's what I was loving. Like, you know what? I want to be out and over with before it gets dark. And and that was brunch.
Free food and the drinks.
But it had to change because of COVID.
Absolutely. So how has that changed for you?
Well, I want to say that throughout the years, since 2015 was the concept of brunch, that I just moved it more along into just being healthy, nutritious meals. Because it was, brunch has an alcoholic component to it that, you just can't push on retail everywhere. And I was really into the diversity of a menu for brunch. It doesn't have to be anything standard, a brunch. And I guess that out of the boxness is what I loved about it. But because of COVID, people can't get together anymore. So I pivoted to doing individual meals and doing food distribution and making sure that it has a healthy and nutritional component for people that aren't really familiar with how to make fresh vegetables and stuff like that. So, pivot to be a little more healthy.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, because everything's going to come back. I know it's going to come back.
Right. I do too. Oh, from your mouth to God's ears.
It's going to come back. We just have to wait it out a little bit.
We have to be healthy and wait this out. Yes, we do.
So what are some of the healthy options that you decided to provide?
Well, I did. We still do a banging fried chicken and waffles. That's staple. But I put on the menu a nice kale salad that has tangerines in it, and has a citrus dressing that you make with Greek yogurt and honey and fresh garlics, and it's really different. And then I do we do falafel sandwiches now. Have the chickpeas. We do a lot of we do a brown rice jambalaya, but it doesn't have any meat in it. It's just black eyed peas and some collard greens, and we've learned how to make it eclectic, delicious, still have some soul food flavor. It can't, vegan is a nice trend, but it's not everybody's palate to go vegan. So I would love to have the experimental meat eaters, and because we're going to still have some great meat, but also vegan friendly. You're not going to be left out at a brunch at Munch Hours. So
that is great. How did you come up with those different menus? Do you actually craft the menus yourself, or have you teamed up with some chefs?
No, I'm a one-man band here. I trial and error. I did a lot of, I guess, market research when New York City Housing Authority partnered with some great city agencies. So they called me to do summer stage like every year when they used to have the free concerts in the park. You cannot push salad at a free concert in the park, honey.
You cannot, but hold that thought.
Okay.
Because I want to pick right back up with that. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So let's talk about Summer Stage. You know,
Yes.
you were asked to participate in some capacity. And as we said, you know, it's a summer event. It's Summer Stage, Wingate Park. We know this.
And you know they come with the coolers. They come with the coolers and
And
refreshments.
greens are not going to cut
Greens are
it.
not on the menu. So I say that I learned a very rough lesson or expensive lesson. You know, it could be invaluable because it's priceless to learn that kind of lesson. That to know my audience on the ground. Because when I do a private event, that private client, they're into that. That is who they
They're
are.
choosing that.
Right. But when you're going to a public event, they want the things that they shouldn't have for this event.
That's
It's
true.
it makes it the treat to being out, you know?
Yeah.
So we had to pivot to hot dogs and burgers and iced tea, and that sold out when I went back. And it was a great concert. It was the hip hop classics. What can you say? It was a great time. So when you got the customers happy, I'm happy. We're having a great time. You know, you can't want.
You went
nothing
home
better.
with a lot of kale that time.
I did eat a lot of kale that time, but I like it, so it's okay for me.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And that is a valuable lesson because when someone comes to you with their choice and their menu and they're booking you privately, it's my palate.
Right.
But when you're exposed to, you don't know.
Yes, and their palate is tricky or touchy, or some people just like the familiar. They don't want to
They-
experiment too much with, you know.
It's summer, it's hot. They just want something quick, little bites.
And it went well with the kids. That was the thing. Hot dogs really work well with kids. So they, you know, they're the finicky eaters of mostly. Adults will take a kale salad. You're not going to feed a kid a kale salad and think they're going to be okay.
You gotta train them young.
You gotta train them young to be on the veggies.
Get that kale. No, but that's interesting. So now, you know, how is the concept for we're still in COVID, but what's the exit strategy of COVID? You know, are you planning to return back, of course, with state laws prohibiting or limiting us with certain things? Now, you know, when things open back up, what would you ideally like to have?
Well, quiet as it's kept. I'm going to spill some tea. Well, no, we're working on, and again, New York City Housing Authority has been a great partner and a great sponsor. So they have partnered up to get us a spot at Governor's Island for the summer. So I'm back to maybe a retail place. Not like Summer Stage, because Summer Stage I had to bring my own tent, my own table. Yep. This is going to be a container type place. So, you know, I'll be competing with the trucks that'll be out there, but I'll have a spot and I'll have a grill and I'll have all that good stuff. Hopefully I'll have a team, and it'll be from May till I say September. How often, how soon, I don't know yet. We're still working out details. So whatever I learned at Summer Stage, I'm going to improve on Governor's Island.
And that's a different crowd.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's not.
It's not Wingate Park.
It's not. We know
Nothing
that.
against Wingate Park. We
But
love
we
it.
know.
But yes, it is a different crowd.
The kale might do well.
I think so.
Kale might do well.
I'm gonna be selling it.
So you never know, and that's something so true.
Yeah, it gives me exposure to different type of New Yorkers, and of course, when a beautiful scene like Governor's Island, I mean, I love that place, you know. So, and I love New York City. What can I say? I've enjoyed having the opportunity to meet different people and to go to different boroughs to do different things.
So, for those who might be interested in this niche opportunity, maybe is there any advice or tips, or is this program even still available? Are you able to help other people with a little bit of intel? Because you're a living inspiration now for people who might not even know this program exists. See that you're actually having success from the program. You know, what tips or advice do you suggest for someone who wants to go through something like this, or might need somewhere to turn?
That is so nice. I would love to help and mentor anyone who does want the help, because we got the help and mentorship, and I need to pay it forward. And what it is, I would say, is tenacity and this idea that failing is okay. And when I say failing, that means you may not get it right. Like I said, Summer Stage was an expensive but priceless lesson. And it's going to be many lessons like that. There's never going to be, and every time I get to a new level of owning a company, it feels very uncomfortable. It feels like you're either going to sink or swim, but you have to have the confidence in yourself, in your ability to be able to weather that kind of emotion. And if you're not, if you're more comfortable knowing that you're going to get paid every week, every 2 weeks, then entrepreneurship, the anxiousness of not knowing is going to really drive you nuts. But if you have support, like a mentor, a business person like myself that tells you that this will pass, you need to just go through it. You may fail your first gig, you may even bomb your first client, but that doesn't mean you don't get a chance to redeem yourself. And believe in redeeming yourself. Believe in your mission enough to know that, you're not going to turn back because you can make it.
That is fantastic. And just knowing to pay it forward.
Absolutely.
I'm a true believer of that. I mean, I've had so many great people along the way, just kind of the little things. And I don't ever let it go without recognizing it. I know God puts people in places and the right thing to kind of help you, for sure. But do pay it forward, because that's important.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What has been the most challenging part of COVID?
Oh, it's the distance from people, really. You never realize how much you miss a concert with the crowd, or the packed train. Maybe you took it for granted, but now that I see that there's like a gap in how many people are walking New York City whenever you go, I miss that. I do. Also, what's changed is precaution. The meals aren't buffet anymore. Everything has to be sealed individually and safety sealed. Also, I do a sticker on it to make sure that nothing goes in. Unless they break the seal, the person is eating it. You know what I mean? So that's what I had to change. You have to invest more in protective gear for the people that are working with me, and then put more into individually wrapping meals to give it out to people, because they, you have to worry about contact and transmitting. So it's gotten more personalized, I'll say.
Personalized, and there's a couple more layers to
Oh,
it.
yeah, there's a lot more layers of compliance, in the kitchen and cooking overall, and having people working with us. So, that's been challenging, to add these extra layers of stress, but let's see, added with the fact that you decreased our layer to make income. We can't just go out and just grab clients anymore, or just fill up an event space anymore.
It's a little different.
It's different. You have to really, I guess, work double time to get what you used to get at one event. You have to do 5 separate events,
Right.
But
well, hold that thought. Okay. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. So, Niani, what would you say you're looking forward to the rest of 2021? I know you already spilled a little bit of tea, but it's always like a work in progress. These types of, especially having your own business. So you said it best. If you can't deal with the anxiety, if you're waiting for that direct deposit to hit every 2 weeks, it's going to be nerve-wracking. But even though having the support from NYCHA, you still have to put out and invest.
Yes. That was eye-opening and heartbreaking. Eye-opening because you realize how much you believe in yourself when you invest in yourself. Just like if you were going to college or you're going to learn a different skill, that's an investment in yourself. That education is necessary. But I had fantasies of building up my savings so that I can move into a better place to live. Mm-hmm. And I ended up investing it all into my company because I felt that I was living that better place in my company instead of as an employee in someone else's company. So you give up one dream which is like, I'm going to get a co-op or condo or a house. And I'm just saving my money. And then you take it all and you put it towards your business. You get, the trademarking and all that good stuff that goes with it. And you're like, guess I'm going to have to budget better. But it's worth it. I have to say, again, invest in yourself, believe in yourself, and you don't even think about it. It's just natural once you put it into your system, into the universe, that this is what I'm doing, and everything just flows. Everything works.
And that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's going to flow. There's still going to be lessons.
Yes. Yes, it is. And it's going to, like I already said, it's going to be emotionally nerve-wracking for you, economically and just through your emotions.
How has your family been with the support of you doing this venture? Think you're crazy? Do they love it?
I love my big crazy family. They've been, my cousins from the Bronx, my mom has come to help me. I have friends that have donated money to me and time. And it's just, again, it's beautiful to bring the community in, the family community. They see, and I have to caution some people to know that people like to see you doing it by yourself before they jump in. So in the beginning, it was all me all the time, and I didn't realize the value of asking for help. So when my family offered the help, I was so happy to take it, and now I'll never try to do the superwoman on my own thing ever again. It's like, okay, I got a support team.
And it's okay to ask for help.
It is. It's just scary when you don't know what you're doing also. Like, you're new at it, and then you bring on other people, and you worry that other people may try to make it they may influence your vision. And so you're so diehard on your vision, you're just like, no, follow directions. But everyone had an input that really changed, I guess, my perspective and my point of view, and it enriched it. So I was blessed to have so many people help me out.
I always call that building the plane while flying.
I like that.
Because we are building this plane as we're flying this plane.
I like that.
And sometimes, that'd be the situation. You're learning as you go. You're building it as you're flying it, but it's okay.
I call it the trifecta. So I had to be my business, build my business, and grow the business all at the same time, all just being me. But again, I made that investment, and I'm not looking back, so I'm very happy.
And I'm sure you sacrificed personal relationships, time.
Well, I pull on my relationships to come sacrifice for me now.
Smart way to do it.
They give up their weekends to do some Munch hour work, and I'm happy for that. But yes, no, it's isolating. You can't call your friends with business stuff all day long, and that's all that's on your brain all day long. Yeah. They're like, I just got off work because we not talk about this, so it is a little lonely, but I have the mentorships and the people who are in business who says, girl, that's nothing. You're going to be okay.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
How can everyone at home get in contact with you? What's your social media, your website, all that good stuff?
Good. I am available online. I have my website, which is brand spanking new, www.munchhoursinc.com. I'm on Twitter, kind of, possibly.
Get a page.
Really. But basically my website and my Instagram page at Munch Hours Inc. Or you can find me at Miss Taylor 1976, because mostly I post everything everywhere. But it's hard to post. It's hard to stay focused on social media because I'm cooking or I'm doing administrative stuff and I'm dealing with customers. So I'm not as social media savvy, but again, I still get clients, so I think that I'm doing something great. That word of mouth has got me working so much, but I do engage online. So, and you can volunteer if you come to my website. There's a page for people to sign up if they want to volunteer.
That's fantastic, actually. I think it's great, and it will give people the opportunity to see the insides of it, do something good.
Oh yeah, learn some new recipes, come out, taste some new things. I'm definitely wanting to welcome in all of New York City.
Well, I was impressed when you said you come up with the concepts, the recipes. I was like, do you get a chef? Do you
No, just pull them out of magazines.
That's okay. Pull a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little testing. We do tasting test days. That's what I do. So I'll tool a recipe. I'll have my friends come by, taste it, rate it, score it. That makes the menu. If not, then we'll do it again.
Yeah, because sometimes you might have something in your mind that you think is going to taste.
Right.
And they'll be like, nah.
Right, right. And they'll say, do something different, add more spice, add more of this. And, I do those tasting groups. So my friends, they love me. They love sacrificing for a free meal, honey.
Oh, of course. When they have those cocktail tastes, you'd be like, you can sign me up.
What? It's such hard work eating free food and drinking. I know.
But you get to say you were part of a process that made the menu, so it's nice,
Yes, they're part of the evolution of Munch Hours, so it's necessary.
What's one of the funniest names on your menu?
Funniest names on my menu. Well, my full name as a company is Munch Hours 11 to 4, right? 11 to 4 was the other tag of my company, except that was a lot to print on a business card. So it just got chopped to Munch Hours Inc. But I don't have anything funny on my menu because I like to keep it open for new culinary people to come in and do something and have their creative.
So you don't limit.
Yeah, I don't limit that. I just have a staple of like chicken and waffles, some chickpea stuff, like I said, the kale stuff, but everything else we can do specials.
I love it.
Yeah.
Niani, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll be checking back in. We'll get some more info from you for another segment.
Thank you.
Thank you. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us.
Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.